Normally you want to try and have as many fights as you can get when you first start out. So one fight every year, year and a half is not the fast track. So we'll see what happens.
Your referee and man in charge of the action with that bell ring will be Donnie Jessup. Presenting to you first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 129.6 pounds. Looking to add a victory to his record. From Sanford, North Carolina, please welcome Natron McClean. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 133.6 pounds. He is undefeated, 1-0. Can he make it another tonight, ladies and gentlemen? From Hyatt, Massachusetts, please welcome Joshua Orta. And Donnie Jessup will give the instructions.
All right, gentlemen, the rules in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up good like a basketball.
Each other up now.
Stop! Stop!
Instructions by the referee told them to stop. They're going to get a little separation here. And they are resuming action right now. McLean is moving. His back is to the ropes now. And here comes Orta. Landing some good body shots and up to the head. All right, Orta's trying to establish some dominance here early, so we'll see. All right, here we go again. Orta standing in front of him. He's swinging wildly, and here he goes. Orta's got him inside, swinging some punches, tying each other up. Great, great shots he threw to McLean on the break. Definitely see that Orta's definitely a little bit more establishing his aggression and his style here upon McLean. But you can't count on anybody. It just takes one punch from either fighter to turn the fight around. And again, these are two young guys starting out in their pro ranks here. What a good left hook by Orta. He hit McLean with a good, clean left hook. And that definitely will score in the judges. And he's hitting him on the break, and here comes McLean trying to, and that's it. That's round two. Round two, round one is over. Round two is coming up. I'm going to give that fight, that round to Orta. It's going to be a 4-round fight. My unofficial scorecard will give that round to Orta, and How they score, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to use a 10-point must system. For those of you that are not familiar with the 10-point must system, the winner of each round gets 10 points. The loser rounds gets 9 points or less. Usually if there's a knockdown that will occur in a round, that is normally a 10-8 round automatically. The loser round gets 8 points, and the winner, of course, gets 10. That's how we start to add. But I'm going to give that a 10-9 round. I give 9 to McLean, and I get 10 points to Orta. They're receiving their instructions from their handlers in the corner. Neither fighter looks winded at this point. All right, the stools are getting out of the ring. Referee's getting ready, and we're going to hear the sound of the bell for the second round. There it is. Here we go. Neither fighter looks like they've been hurt. There's a good right hand, left hook by Orta onto McLean. McLean's holding on, and Orta just keeps punching him in the head. And when you see McLean, now he's looking for a little help from the referee. That's usually a sign that he's not happy in there. He just took a good right hand, and his back is to the ropes in the corner. So Orta is going to be trying to strike and pound that body again and hit him on top of the head. Now McLean comes up, puts Orta to the back, to the ropes. And now the referee breaks him apart. Orta is right on top right now, has his opponent's back, hits him with a right lead, couple, right overhand rights. Going to the body, hit him with a good right hand. All right, McLean looks a little hurt right now. He just took some good shots. He's backing away, and Orta's going to be more aggressive and come right to him. McLean's looking to keep moving and not just get trapped in one spot, because Orta's going to be aggressive and try to end this fight soon. I like the activity from Orta. Even when he's tied up by McLean, he is punching, and he's punching inside where he can. There's a warning from the referee to McLean because he is holding on. If he gets another warning like that, you might see a point being taken away from him. Referee's having some words, lengthy words. We'll see. Here we go. Time in, and the fight resumes. All right. Tell you what, McLean doesn't look like he wants to do too much more in here, and he's getting some punishment right now. And I see definitely Orta landing some good shots. McLean's hands are still up. He's still in there, but he hasn't thrown many punches. He's taken some shots, and Orta is being more aggressive. Has him in a corner now. He's throwing some shots. McLean throws some shots, and I'll tell you what, McLean just took a hard right hand. I think McLean is hurt. And Orta is a punching machine right inside. I like that. He keeps busy. No matter what's happening in there, whatever angle that McLean's trying to show him. All right. Fight was just stopped by the referee. He just waved the fight off. I don't know why, but I believe maybe because he saw that maybe McLean didn't want to resume or really give it a go in the fight. So we will see that Orta picks up his second victory in his little fights, and he just scored a second round TKO, which is a technical knockdown. So we are going to look at that fight. It's being stopped, I believe, in the second round, and we have another victory for Joshua Orta, who's now 2-0. 2 victories and no defeats. 2 knockouts. So he's got a nice little pathway that he's carving out early on in his career. We'll see it. You can see it. So we are Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking to just get the decision, official decision from the referee, and we're going to see that it's going to be Orta who will receive his hand up in the air. And he was very dominant, and he showed that he wanted to win this fight. And hey, what do you want to know about that? That's what the game's all about. He was busier, he was more effective landing the shots, and that's what you do. And we're going to see what the next bout's going to be, and we're going to have an official ring announcer, Amy Hayes, who's going to step in the ring, and she is going to make the official announcement on the winner.
We are ready. Here is the official time, ladies and gentlemen. Referee Donnie Jessup calls a halt to the action. Number 2 minutes 41 seconds in. Therefore, your winner by technical knockout is Joshua Orta.
He is the winner. Technical knockout.
Coming up next, 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division.
All right, so we are going to go to the next fight. It's going to be a junior middleweight division, and I believe it's going to be 6 rounds. So we'll hear about the new fighters being introduced into the ring, and that was a good way to start the card. Good way to start the fight. We are here at Fight Night by Christy Martin Promotions, and we've had some great activity here early on, and we are looking at our sponsors here, LDLTV. This is all brought to you by LDLTV and Christy Martin Promotions. And we also have another sponsor, Famous Toastery. Famous Toastery is one of the local favorites here, and we are looking to just take care of some things outside the ring that are happening, and everything's fine. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a commercial break right now. Thank you.
Tonight's Christy Martin Promotions event is brought to you in part by Famous Toastery. Breakfast, lunch, and brunch all at once. Come visit one of their 40 locations and find them on the internet at famoustoastery.com. Punch in your zip code, find your nearest location. Title Boxing, with world-famous boxing equipment, major brands at affordable prices. Shop them 24/7 by going to titleboxing.com. Payne Boxing. For professional boxing management, contact them today at payneBoxing.com. Also, find them on Facebook. ECT Transportation for day trips, airport drop-offs, proms, and graduations in Charlotte, North Carolina. Call them now at 704-293-4150 or find them on Facebook. Hustle Hands, a trend-setting online clothing store with first-rate products and exceptional customer service. Find them on the web at hustlehands.com. Homewood Suites by Hilton. Experience apartment-style living with the benefits of being a hotel guest. Go to Hilton.com and book a stay today. Ultimate Gym, the best boxing and martial arts gym in Charlotte. Check out their website at ultimategym.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Christy Martin Promotions and LDLTV, the best in boxing, streaming live to you. Check out our upcoming shows streaming live on LDLTV, February 23rd, 2019 in Charlotte, North Carolina, March 16th, 2019 in Jacksonville, Florida, and April 12th, 2019 in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano in St. Simons Island, Georgia is a sponsor of every Christy Martin Promotions event. Eater Atlanta Magazine says Sal's is the best place to eat in South Georgia. Go to salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com and find out how to get to Sal's on St. Simons Island. And by Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today at southerngourmetspice.com. Tonight's Christy Martin Promotions event.
To Fight Night, being brought to you by Christy Martin Promotions. And speaking of Christy Martin Promotions, we have Christy Martin right here ringside joining us right now. So, Christy, welcome. I'm so excited to be here. It's another good night of fights, I'm sure.
You know what? We do have a good night of fights. We started out about a week ago. We had 12 bouts. And then one thing happened, another thing happened. A kid yesterday shows up to weigh in with the police officer, and they're ready to arrest him because he forged an eye exam. I mean, it was one thing after another. We lost a bunch of fights, but the fights we have are good fights. And this one coming up with Jamaal Gregory and Andre Baker is going to be a really tough battle for 6 rounds.
That's great. That's good. We're looking forward to this.
Age of 53 years old and won, which then put him in the Guinness Book of World Records. So this is our color commentator next to Hall of Famer Christy Martin. And LDLTV back
on. All right, here we are. Amy Hayes about to announce the next fight, which is coming up. And that's going to be Jamaal Gregory.
And Jamaal Gregory is a hometown kid. He has grown up here, went to high school at the same school I teach at, so I actually had him in class. But he has a strong amateur background. He's been going up to Philadelphia to prepare for the fights that we're having here in Charlotte. So I look forward to a tough challenge from Andre Baker because he has been in with many fighters that are more experienced than Jamaal. It's going to be a great step for him, and I look for 6 hard rounds.
Okay, that's great to hear. Yeah, I think I've seen Jamaal Gregory fight before. He's very good.
This is actually Andre Baker getting into the ring with Billy Mitchum, which Billy Mitchum worked my corner in my pro debut.
Oh, wow, really?
Absolutely.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Christy, I know you and I have talked so many times about, what it was like when you were fighting and when I was fighting and versus today. It's a little different game today.
It's altogether different because, everybody now is worried about protecting that O.
Yes.
And no one really wants to take a challenge. But if you don't take a challenge, how do you ever know how good you are?
Right, exactly.
And in order to get that money fight that all these guys talk about, you have to beat someone.
Yes.
And it's not someone that's 0-15 or 2-15. It's someone that's a real legitimate fighter.
Exactly. Well, that's the difference also. I mean, we challenged ourselves, and you challenged yourself all the way to the World Championship. And that's how you do it.
That's the only way you're going to get there. And then what? You going to get there and not be ready?
That's right. That's right. Well, good. Well, I think we're going to see some young future stars here tonight, and hopefully they'll progress along and they'll get a steady diet of increased competition.
And that's been the whole thing. And I try to explain to these guys, and a lot of times it's the handlers. The fighters want to fight tough for competition, but the people that are handling their career don't want to let them step up. Exactly. They want to be challenged. They want to see how good they are. And everybody wants to pull, or not everybody, but their people want to keep them held down. I try to tell them you might can fight opponents, but you have to step up the quality of opponents.
That's correct.
And that's what this kid Jamaal Gregory is doing.
Yes, I see it, yeah. He's a good young prospect, good young fighter.
Andre Baker already has a fight scheduled, so he's very confident about what's going to happen tonight or what's not going to happen tonight.
What's not going to happen, I'll tell you.
Here we go for the official introduction. 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Presented to you first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 148 pounds, his record. A journeyman, 10 victories, 49 losses, and 3 draws. From Lumberton, North Carolina, Andre Baker. And his opponent fighting to my right out of the blue corner, weighing in at 147.2 pounds. His record nearly unblemished, 4-1. From
Now we have Jamaal Gregory here, who's I've seen him before, and he's a good fighter, and he has a record of 4 wins and 1 defeat.
This kid, Andre Baker, his competition's like Zolt Durrani, which is getting ready to fight for a title. You know, he challenged him, a guy that's 20-5. He always steps up to fight the tougher challenges, and you know, that's what we're going to see here. Is Jamaal Gregory that level of the
Exactly.
tougher fighters?
And you know what's unique is the fact that 39 of those fights we've seen Andre Baker has gone the distance. That's a pretty good accomplishment, no matter win, lose, or draw.
It's a great accomplishment, and it's really going to test Jamal is not what we would classify as a puncher. He's more of a boxer. So we're going to see. But he's very accurate with his shots,
Yep.
so we'll see if that accuracy will lead to power.
I agree, and we'll see that. And I remember seeing him early on with you because he was the 110% kid, I believe. All right. Both are orthodox, which means they're going to lead with their left jab. You see Andre Baker, he definitely shows us some experience. He's got his hands up. He's moving side to side a little bit. Little head movement. And you got Jamaal Gregory doing what we've seen him do in the past. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to take the fight to you, and he's working his way in with a jab. He's got a nice little pop on a jab, too.
And that's the thing. If he just follow that jab up with a good combination when there he's trying to land that long right hand,
Yep.
that's going to take a toll on Baker. But, you know, we'll see. Is that going to be a big enough toll by round 6?
Exactly. And round 6, Christy, and I know you remember, it's a good test for young fighters because, you know, you could go that 4 rounds, but, you know, those 2 extra rounds, especially action-packed, you're going to be well-conditioned. And that's how it goes along. That's how you bring them along. 6 rounds, then 8 rounds, then 10 rounds.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. You know, but because it is 6 rounds, stepping up from the 4 round, they can't slow their pace down. And it seems as though Jamal maybe he's holding his hands a little bit, not as many combinations as usual. But he'll get heated up, and I'm sure he'll start letting his hands go a little more.
Exactly, they'll loosen up. Oh, he just walked into a left by Baker, but he's coming back with establishing that left jab.
Jamal's one of those guys. He's a young guy from here in North Carolina, and his last 2 fights, he was supposed to fight. The fight before this, he was supposed to fight another kid here from North Carolina that everyone had talked about was so good. And the last minute, the kid pulled out. Before this fight, he was supposed to fight another North Carolina kid that was going to come beat him and all that. Well, a few weeks ago, that fight was changed. So I don't know what it is about Jamal. I think everybody's scared of him. He must have something that we don't always see.
Well,
maybe a little more pop than we know.
And that's very true because you never know. You remember there's a lot of talk amongst trainers in gyms, and hey, maybe Jamal's a world beater in the gym, and there's things that other fighters are going to hear from their trainers. We're going to stay away from him. We're going to wait. And right now, I'll tell you what, he's being very effective with landing some good shots. This is a very good test for him, Christy.
It's a good test, and he's been going over and getting good rounds with Matthew Strode. Matthew Strode is another guy that he has a lot of wins, but he steps up and fights good competition. So he's that good level, B-level fighter, Matthew Strode.
Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, Christy, I'm going to tell everybody it's my unofficial announcement here, but I think I'm going to give that round to Jamaal Gregory.
I agree with you 100%.
Good, and we're going to give, and I explained earlier to the audience what a 10-point must system means, which means we're going to give Jamaal Gregory 10 points for this first round, and we're going to give Andre Baker 9 points. And that's it. We're going to have 6 rounds. Jamaal Gregory chooses to stand in between rounds. And we see the instructions being given to each fighter by their cornerman. And round 2 is about to begin. Here we are. The bell rings, and here the fighters come right meet in the middle. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're here in another beautiful night, a fight night by Christy Martin Productions.
And as expected, Jamal's coming out with combinations and letting his hands go a little more frequently, and the punches are just coming very easily and fluidity. That's what he's showing us right now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Christy.
It's very smooth.
I like, you know what I just saw, Christy? I like his feet where they are. He's got some balance. His feet are underneath him. You know, even if he gets tested or stressed out in pushed off balance, his feet are under him. That's what's so important, keeping that balance.
Absolutely, and that's what it's hard for young fighters to understand balance and how to back up, especially with that same balance. They want to just pull back instead of actually slide your feet and back up.
Exactly. I think he just is starting to get to Andre Baker a little bit. And Andre, though, he's a warrior. He's been tested, and he can hold his own. But I'll tell you what, Jamaal is landing some right leads, and here comes Baker right back on him, letting him know, hey, I'm not going to roll over that easy, pal.
No, he's probably thinking, you can't show me anything I haven't seen before.
Exactly, with that kind of experience, believe me. It'll say a lot about Jamaal if he does.
Yeah, absolutely. If Jamaal would get a TKO, a KO, or any kind of stoppage in this fight, it really makes a big statement.
Oh, yeah.
And I think as the fight goes on, we'll see Jamaal start to press for that stoppage a little harder.
Right. Now, and I will say, I see a big difference between rounds 1 and 2. Rounds 1, he was a little more tentative. He was feeling out his distance between he and his opponent. But right now, he's definitely notched up his game plan and his power. I see him letting his fists go. Nice right lead. And Baker's tying him up a little bit, which is also a good sign of experience. All right, Gregory is he's looking to establish his dominance and his strength. Good body shot, and he comes up to the head. Good sign of a good activity right there.
You know, Jamaal's one of those long and lean guys, and as a fighter, we know that those are the ones that are usually the most dangerous.
Yes. And as a shorter fighter, you try to work your way in there and chop him down like a tree.
Right.
Oh, nice move. Good. I'll tell you what. I think
Jamaal. I think it was low.
I don't know if it was low or if it was a great left hook to the liver, but I think it was a low.
I think it was low.
A little low.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
It looked like a good left hook.
Can we see a replay of that?
Yeah, I'm going to ask if we could see a replay, but if I'll tell you what, that was definitely it looked like a good left hook. It just landed a little bit low. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, that protective cup, it does a good job, but even if you get hit on the waistline with that cup, the way it could jar and move, it could really hurt you. So, it's one of those things. The blow doesn't have to be direct, but if it's below that belt line, it really you can feel it. All right, they're giving him enough time to walk it off, if you will, and the activity will resume. And here we go. Both fighters touch gloves. And here we go ahead. Jamaal Gregory is definitely pushing this fight. He's being the aggressive fighter, trying to establish that jab. And Andre Baker is doing what a good fighter will do, tie him up and try to bide some time and see what he can do. I like what I see from Gregory. I'll tell you, Christy, I like what I see.
Jamaal's fighting a really a smart fight, and he's staying busy when he needs to be busy, and then basically resting when he can.
Exactly.
Yep.
But what I like, what I just saw too, is how his feet are directly underneath him when he moves and shifts, and that's balance.
It's balance, and he's you know what? He looks like a natural athlete. I'm not sure if he played other sports, but he just looks like an athlete. His movements are athletic. He's smooth. He's smooth. He's fun to watch.
I agree.
Sal, I'm going to have to leave you. My promoter duties are calling me.
And you know what?
I want to stay. I want to stay with you.
I know.
Right.
I love having you on board here. Anytime you're ready.
I'm going to try to come back.
Please do.
All right.
Christy Martin. Thank you so much, Christy, for joining us. That was Christy Martin, world champion. And we are so happy and proud to see another great night of fights by Fight Night by Christy Martin Productions. And Christy Martin, in her day, I'll tell you what, she was a world champion in female boxing, and I've seen many of her fights, and she was a warrior, and she still is, I'm sure. Like we all feel we have the fight in us, but Christy Martin, what a great gal she is. All right, here we go. We see this round, and we have Jamaal coming out here. He looks more confident, and of course I gave him that last round, so right now based on the scoring process. We got 20 points for Jamaal Gregory, and we have 18 for Andre Baker. And these fighters are establishing some activity here, but definitely we look at Gregory, who's in the blue half trunk with the white and gray. Jamaal Gregory, he's definitely being a little bit more dominant. He's got some moves. He's got a little finesse. He's got some power in that pop, I'll tell you. But that punch just caught Baker with a good left hook on the break. And Baker's keeping his hands up, tying him up, doing what he has to do. And he's been in there. Like I said, Baker's got quite a few fights underneath his belt. And I'll tell you, he's got over 50 professional fights. Oh, and I'll tell you what, you could see that Baker, even though he's had more than 45 losses, he has gone the distance, many of those losses, and he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's lost a lot of split decisions, but he is a true test right now for the young Gregory, who's up and coming and showing us that he does have some good intentions here to progress along as a fighter. All right, well, that's a little timeout. It was another low blow that hit Baker. And we have Gregory down, not Gregory, we have Baker down in the ground right now trying to recover. He got caught with another low blow from Jamaal Gregory. This one looked like it hurt him a little more. He's going to walk it off. He's taking a breather, doing what he has to do. All right, the referee's going to... Referee is taking 1 point away from Gregory for low blow, intentional low blow. That's what it means. And or hitting him low after he got the warning. So that was 1 point away from Gregory. So even if it's a 10-9 round, meaning Gregory wins this round, it's going to wind up being a 9-9 round. So we'll see. Unless there's a knockdown in this round. The round still has plenty of time for a lot of things to happen. Here we go. We're going to wait to see. And Baker looks like he's ready to resume the fight. And the referee's going to call him to the center, let him touch gloves. And we are going to have the fight. Time in, and we are back into the action. Here we go. I'm sure Jamaal Gregory will stop or will think twice before he lets that punch go below the belt line next time. Gregory looks like he just has a little more pop on his punch. He's throwing with some good intention here. And Baker is feisty, man. He's coming right at him. And he's got his hands up. He's countering. Just caught Gregory with a good left. So Baker, like I said, he's not just going to say, hey, I'm done. I'm here to fight. They're both here to fight. That's the game. That's the name of the game. He just took a good right hand from Gregory. Baker's backs to the rope. That was a good left hook. That was right to the liver. That was not below the belt, and I saw that. So we have Gregory definitely establishing his dominance, hitting those punches low, and he just came back with another double left hook and caught Baker in the head with that left hook. They're going to try and keep this fight in close range, and that, I think, is going to be to Gregory's advantage right now. It should be to Baker's, but right now we definitely see Gregory being more dominant. Good right lead, and that's it. So this would normally be a 10-9 round, but again, because the point was taken away from Gregory, it's going to wind up being a 9-9 round. So after 3 rounds of fighting, we have Jamaal Gregory. My unofficial score, I have him winning 29 points to 27 points. That's after 3 rounds. And of course, my score is very unofficial. But I love doing it. See how far off the mark I might be. right, here we go. We are going to begin round 4 in just about 30 seconds. Each fighter is getting instructions from their corner. Gregory still chooses to stand in between rounds, and we see Baker sitting down and getting a needed break and rest. All right, his trainer's giving the last-minute instructions. Stools are out of the ring, and we're going to get the bell, sounding of the bell for round number 4. Gregory picks up where he left off, establishing a good, strong combination. Punching with that jab, taking the fight to Baker, I'm sorry. Baker's covering up. He's pretty effective. He's smart. He's been in there with some good contenders. You have over 50 fights. You've been in a ring with some good people. Oh, he just took a great overhand right by Gregory. Baker is still on his feet. He looks in good shape. He's not hurt. And he's definitely showing good signs of being a veteran that he is. He's saying, hey, man, I could weather your storm. I've weathered a lot of storms that I've been involved in. All right, he's using a little peekaboo style right now, Baker, which means he has his hands up alongside his head, and we'll see what happens. Now they're down, and Gregory's still content and trying to establish that jab and hit him from the outside. See a little swelling underneath the eyes of Baker, especially the right eye. Gregory looks pretty much unmarked. Good right lead he just threw to Baker. Baker covered up best he could. Baker's just trying to flail that left hand out there, just looks a little lazy out there. And Gregory's going to come over with her overhand right. I can see it right now. That's what he's looking for. Tried it, but he's a little short. He's throwing a good, effective jab, though. He's working his way. He's content. I can see that definitely Gregory's content with going the distance or allowing this fight to definitely work on some of his points as far as establishing that jab. He's got a good, sharp, crisp jab. He's using it effectively. Baker just got him with a good left hook. He countered. Both fighters are tying each other up right now, and they're breaking apart. Here we go. Baker steadily coming forward now on Gregory. Gregory got that jab pumping. Good hook off the jab. That caught Baker. Baker's got that left hand down. I'm telling you, he's gonna be looking at a right hand coming right over from Gregory. Just caught Gregory with a good jab. Looked like to the arm, but let's see. They're fighting on the inside now, tying each other up, trying to punch and get some leverage. That's it. We got the 10-second warning right now. Let's see who's going to close the round. There's a good jab by Gregory. Solid jab by Gregory. And that's it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give that round to Gregory. So that's Jamaal Gregory. And he just got another for round 4. We got 2 more rounds remaining. So round 4 I give to Gregory. That's a 10-9 round for Gregory after 4. Both fighters getting instructions. Ring card girls coming in, and Gregory's still standing. Baker is sitting down. Both cornermen are applying ice to him and getting his last second instructions. There he goes. Stool is out of the ring, and the bell is about to ring for round number 5. Here we go, round number 5. Round number 5 of 6. Baker's pulling out there with that jab, trying to create some distance or get a range. And tell you what, Gregory's just going to punch right over that and through it. And that's what he's doing. There's no no real action other than just trying to keep that as a nuisance, that left hand being lazily out there, putting it out there. And he just took a good right hand from Gregory with that arm being down, like I've been saying all night. Trying to size Baker up. Both fighters a little tentative with the jab. There they go. Gregory's moving forward. I mean, so is Jamaal. I mean, so is Baker. Baker's moving forward too. He's just on the receiving end of moving forward. Ooh, he just caught a good left hook. Nice hook off the jab that Gregory executed on Baker. Threw that jab and boom, turned into a left hook right behind it. He's got to do is follow up with a right hand behind that. Each fight sets up the next punch. Each punch, that a fighter throws usually sets up the next punch. And that's how you get combinations. All right, let's see. Very good test for young Gregory here. I'll tell you, he's looks like he's going to go into the 6th round and final round. And I'll tell you, Baker is a gamer. He's here. All right, there's the end of the 5th round. Again, I will give that to Gregory, another 10 points. And I'll give 9 points to Baker. Andre Baker gets 9 points in that round after round 5. And again, Jamaal Gregory, I give 10 points. Basically, Jamaal Gregory has won every round, including the 9-point round when the referee took the 1 point away from him. Well, no, that was a draw that round. They both had 9 points, sorry. But he was more dominant, is what I'm saying. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wait for that bell to ring for the 6th and final round of this fight between Jamaal Gregory and Andre Baker. It's been a good action-packed fight. It's entertaining. All right, here we go. Christy Martin Productions, and we are at Fight Night here in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's the bell for the 6th and final round. Gregory comes out with a good right hand. Lands right on Baker. Baker, he's not hurt by it. He's saying, hey, I'm right in front of you. And he's moving. He's tying Gregory up right now. Gets caught with an uppercut on the way out. And I'll tell you, Andre Baker is definitely a good fighter, a durable fighter. You can see his experience. He's tying up where he can, and he's getting out of the way. He just got caught with a good right hand from Jamaal Gregory. Another good right hand by Gregory. But Baker's still standing. Doesn't even look hurt. Putting his chin in front of his gloves. I don't know if that's smart, but he's taking a little bit of these shots that Gregory is throwing. It looks like he's inviting him with his hands down and his head up, and Gregory's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna answer that invitation. Here you go." Good right hand by Gregory. Baker is still moving side to side, a little bit backwards, tying up his opponent. and I haven't seen much offense from him, and that's a concern because he's got to be able to punch back. Looks like he's content on just trying to slip and block some punches. Oh, he just got caught with a good uppercut. Another uppercut he went for, but just grazed Baker. Baker's keeping that left hand down. He just took a right hand over the top. But he's not going anywhere. Just took an uppercut. Throwing a jab now. I'm sure Gregory's saying to himself, I'm hitting you, and I'm waiting for you to show me you're hurt. But Baker's saying, hey, I'm not hurt. I'm still here. You're going to have to show me a little bit more. And that's what a fighter of experience will do often. Great combination by Gregory. Hit him with an uppercut and a left hook right behind it. Jamaal got another right hand in there. All right, here they go. Baker is sticking that jab out there. He's on his toes. He's on his feet here. He's slipping some punches, putting his head down, tying him up. This is a... Tell you what, this is good. We can see that Baker has good defensive skills here. He's a survivor in the ring, and that's why he's still fighting after 40 losses, 40-plus losses. He's not being hurt. There he goes. That's the end of the fight, ladies and gentlemen. I will give that 6th and final round to Jamaal Gregory. And I will give the 9 points again to Andre Baker. So I give 59 points to Jamaal Gregory. And I will give 54 points to Andre Baker. So we definitely see that Andre Baker was a gamer who was able to show us some of his defensive skills, just not as much as the offensive skills. And that we're going to give to Jamaal Gregory, who I've seen fight several times, and he's steadily improving in his skill set. I'll tell you that. I'm glad to see that. He's looking like he's progressing along, just like a fighter would like to be progressing along. And his handlers as well, his trainers and his managers. That's what we want to see. Every so often you step up to the next level of competition. And here he fought a guy with a lot of experience and who has proven the test of time that he's not going to go down and be an easy knockout. So again, we have a good victory, my unofficial scorecard, of course, for Jamaal Gregory. Proving to be learning as he is definitely stepping up in the level of competition. Okay, we're going to have an official announcement here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scored this bout the same, 59 to 54 across the board. For your winner by unanimous decision, Jamaal Gregory.
Good test for Jamaal Gregory. And, you know, it's amazing, ladies and gentlemen, just like most fighters you'll see, they have earned each other's respect in that ring, so each fighter will either hug each other or shake hands and have some nice exchange of words saying, hey, good fight, good test for you. And that is the end of that bout. And
Okay, we've got a...
all right.
Sal, tell him I'm out of battery.
Okay, we need some batteries in that microphone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just see Amy Hayes up in the ring right now, and she's there we go. We got that
We
thing.
have an assortment of professional and amateur stars here this evening. We have the records and everything, but what the suggestion was that we bring them all at one time so that you can give them a big round of applause because they are North Carolina's finest. Okay, can we have Mike White come up to the ring, please? And Cody Bullock. Cody Bullock. lady of the ring here, and one lady. So this is North Carolina's finest station. Can you hold that belt up there? Go ahead. Represent. They don't all have their belts, but they are distinguished, and we wanted you to observe them, get them on camera. And we do have one young man. We decided we had to pick one. They said to pick one, so we picked the young guy, okay? 14-year-old Jamaal Taylor. Where is the little friend?
Hey, Joel!
Javian.
Joel, shout out on that win, brother!
Javian, there he is. Come on over here, Javian. Am I saying it right? Javian? I got it. You sit still. Okay, I'm going to make him blush, I think. Right? Okay, he has 7 belts. 7. Yeah. And I don't even have one. In the 85-pound division, he is the Christy Martin champion. He also holds the National California PAL belt. National California. One of his 3rd biggest belts is the Sugarbird boxing belt, and he's from Fayetteville, North Carolina, of Warrior Saint Boxing. Jamaal Taylor, 14 years old with 7 belts, and those 3 huge ones that I just named.
I'm Christy Martin, and I just want to thank all of you guys for coming out and showing us great love and support tonight. All these fighters here have given a lot of dedication and a lot of themselves to be in the gym every day and get prepared to come out and give you guys a great show. Honey Bullet, I had to pull you out here, baby. Honey Bullet is from Asheville, North Carolina, and he trained his ass off to have a great fight tonight against Edis Galloway. There was some problems with the commission, some medicals, this and that. I don't know what the true story is. All I know is that at the weigh-in yesterday, we were told that that fight would not happen. We did everything under our power. We thought we had a match for tonight, and that kid decided to go to Goldsboro or Greensboro or some damn place else because nobody wanted to fight Cody Bullock. But we will try to bring him back to Charlotte as soon as we can. This one here, Joel, just coming off a major win Thursday night, right? Up in where you in Philly? In Washington, D.C. He went up there. He went up there up north, and he beat a boy from up there, and it's basically his hometown, his own promoter, promoting the show. All the cards stacked against him, but he's a real fighter, so he wasn't afraid. He went out, took a challenge, came back with the W. So we ain't doing nothing but rolling forward. Mike White. Mike White. What's your record now, Mike White? 3-1-1. Who you want to fight more than anybody?
Give me King.
We know what we want. Mike White wants Kelvin King. We want that rematch. This is my friend Hannah. And my friend Hannah here, she is an amateur fighter that's had how many fights? 2 amateur fights, and she don't do anything but look forward to her as she starts her professional career as soon as I can get her in the contract. All right, Marcus is coming down here from Washington, D.C., right? He's been up there sparring with,
Been sparring with everybody when I was up in Walker, I got with the dream team. I was with the dream team. Up in Walker, get some box brothers. What else you know? I can't wait till February 23rd. with Christy, King promotion. And we're gonna take over the world.
Do this thing. We're gonna do it.
All right.
Roderick has had a very successful amateur career. He's fought here in Charlotte most of the time, right, Roderick? Let me just say this. When I saw this guy fight, I tried to talk to his trainers right away to get him under promotional contract, but he decided to stay amateur, test the waters a little longer, and then we'll be seeing him boxing as a professional right here in Charlotte under the smart banner. I'm going to say the best for last. This little guy here is J-Rock. This little man has more belts than that, probably. Tell him, how many tournaments? About 10 tournaments, he said he won. He just recently won a nice gold over the Christy Martin and Mark Hornsby tournament we had in Fayetteville. And Lisa Holloway keeps trying to steal his belts every time. I'd just like to say thank you guys. Amy Hayes. Amy Hayes. As you know, the new addition to Christy Martin Promotions, usually we have Bruce Foster here, but Bruce is actually having a replacement, some kind of replacement tonight, so we decided to come over and step in for him, and we're proud and happy to have him. Thank all of you guys. Thank all of you guys for coming.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. That was a nice little introduction to some great young prospects up here. And now we're waiting for Amy Hayes to make the next announcement of the fight that's going to be coming. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're happy here that we could bring these fights to you by Christy Martin Productions, and this is Fight Night. Fight Night in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we are just getting ready to get these next fighters announced and brought into the ring. So promise to have another action-packed fight. We'll see what happens, and we'll resume that right away. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, go to commercial.
Tonight's Christy Martin Promotions event is brought to you in part by Famous Toastery. Breakfast, lunch, and brunch all at once. Come visit one of their 40 locations and find them on the internet at famoustoastery.com. Punch in your zip code, find your nearest location. Title Boxing, with world-famous boxing equipment, major brands at affordable prices. Shop them 24/7 by going to titleboxing.com. Payne Boxing. For professional boxing management, contact them today at payneBoxing.com. Also, find them on Facebook. ECT Transportation for day trips, airport drop-offs, proms, and graduations in Charlotte, North Carolina. Call them now at 704-293-4150 or find them on Facebook. Hustle Hands, a trend-setting online clothing store with first-rate products and exceptional customer service. Find them on the web at hustlehands.com. Homewood Suites by Hilton. Experience apartment-style living with the benefits of being a hotel guest. Go to Hilton.com and book a stay today. Ultimate Gym, the best boxing and martial arts gym in Charlotte. Check out their website at ultimategym.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Christy Martin Promotions and LDLTV, the best in boxing, streaming live to you. Check out our upcoming shows streaming live on LDLTV, February 23rd, 2019 in Charlotte, North Carolina, March 16th, 2019 in Jacksonville, Florida, and April 12th, 2019 in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano in St. Simons Island, Georgia is a sponsor of every Christy Martin Promotions event. Eater Atlanta Magazine says Sal's is the best place to eat in South Georgia. Go to salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com and find out how to get to Sal's on St. Simons Island. And by Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today at southerngourmetspice.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And we just came back from a commercial break, and we are ready to resume some great action-packed fights. We have Amy Hayes in the ring, and she's going to make the next announcement of who she's going to bring into the ring for the next fight. And we're just grateful. We're having some real nice fights tonight. And we are in Charlotte, North Carolina at Christy Martin's Productions. We are having Fight Night here brought to you. And we're excited to do this. We're going to have a March 16th date. I want you to hold that aside because LDL will be bringing you another great nights of fights out of Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to look forward to getting there and giving you a good action-packed night there. And that's going to be a March. Absolutely. And maybe we'll have a party at my pizzeria, Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria on St. Simon's Island, about 40 minutes from Jacksonville, Florida. And here we are. Here's Amy Hayes right now making the announcement.
Next up, 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Ready and making his way to the ring, the red corner. Please welcome Malcolm Green.
Called into the ring. There we go. Malcolm Green. This proves to be a good fight coming up right now. Malcolm Green made his pro debut about a year and a half ago in the welterweight division. He is 0-1 right now. Oh, wow. And I'll tell you what, he's coming in with my old trainer, Don Turner. Wow. Don Turner I haven't seen in over 30 years. And Don Turner, let me tell you, he is one of the world's greatest trainers. I had the privilege, pleasure, and honor to have Don Turner work with me on several of my fights. And I'll tell you right now, I can't say enough about him. Don Turner is one heck of a Class A trainer, world class. I'd make him come back right now if he could train me. All right, so he's in the corner of Malcolm Green. And here we go with Anthony Velazquez. I've seen Anthony Velazquez fight before. He's a good little fighter. Making his way into the ring. Just acknowledge Don. We just look at each other, and he looks in good shape. All right, here's Anthony Velazquez. Seen him fight before. He's a good little fighter. He's undefeated. He's got 2 victories under his belt, and he's had, let's see, he's got 2 KOs. No, yeah, 2 KOs. So he's 2-0 with 2 KOs. Made his professional debut earlier this year, January of 2018. And he's facing Malcolm Green, who made his professional debut January 17th of 2014.
Fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 144 pounds. His record, 0-1. Can he add a 1 to that record? He will find out, ladies and gentlemen, from Wilmington, North Carolina. Please welcome Malcolm Green. And to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 149.4 pounds. His record is unblemished. 2 victories, 0 losses. From Springfield, Massachusetts, please welcome Anthony Velazquez. And your referee and man in charge of the action, Mr. Donnie Jessup.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Going to get the instructions from the referee. Both fighters in the center ring. They just touch gloves, and we're going to wait for that first bell to start the fight. I'm very excited to see Don Turner. I'll tell you, I can't say enough about him. He used to train Evander Holyfield when Evander was a world champion. When he actually beat Mike Tyson for a World Heavyweight Championship, Don Turner was in Evander Holyfield's corner. All right, so we see that Green's coming out there. He's taller of the two opponents, and he's moving on his toes, and he's trying to establish a nice jab. He looks like he's very supple, very light on his feet. He's got that jab working like a trip hammer right now, right off the bat. And we see Vazquez. He's keeping his feet underneath him. He's kind of trying to cut the ring off on his opponent, and he's taking his time throwing punches that he feels are going to be a little more effective and crisp. So we'll see what happens. Both fighters are tying each other up right now, and they break apart. And let's see. And I'll tell you, Green's coming out with that jab. He's got to keep his feet under him. He looks like he likes to move on his toes a little bit. He's definitely a moving target. He's got a nice little jab behind that. Follows up with a right hand and just misses Velazquez. Velazquez ties him up. The fighters break apart. Here we go. He's back on his scooter. He's back on the wheels right now. We see Green moving, and he's throwing an effective right hand. He just threw a nice left uppercut and a right hand behind it. So Green looks like he's got a little bit of movement. He's got a little bit of punching power, and he's content. Looks like he's having fun out there right now. But Vazquez is all serious. He's trying to cut that ring off on him, and he's trying to land some more effective, solid blows. I like Vazquez's balance as well. He's got his feet right underneath him, and he looks like he's keeping a good balance. He's going low to the body, which is good. We always used to say go to the body and the head will die. But, you know, it's just because you drop your hands and you'll get the opportunity to hit upstairs. Tell you what, Green is just using his reach to his advantage. He just hit Vazquez with a good right-hand lead and two jabs behind it. And Vazquez answers, though. He comes right back up and says, hey, that's not going to be what I'm going to answer to all night. I'm going to show you what I'm made of. So this looks right now to be an evenly matched fight. Both fighters are just taking themselves, moving along the ring here. And again, we see Green on his toes. He's moving side to side. He's got that jab. Ooh, he just took a good right hand from Velazquez. Oh, he just gave a good right counter over to the left of Velazquez. So Green's got some moves. Okay, he's definitely moving. I see his trainer, Don Turner, also looking very intently at him. All right, there's 10 seconds left, and I'll tell you what. It's a good round. Good opening round, I must say. Okay, I'll tell you. All right, well, we see definitely a nice first round to this fight. Saw Green use a little bit of finesse on his toes, trying to work with the jab, doing some nice things. And then I saw Velazquez trying to cut the ring off on Green and try to establish a little more dominance with the punching power. But I think that he actually, you know, may have had some opportunities that he missed by waiting for the opportunity to throw one solid shot, which he never really got off to do. And by that, I'm going to tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, again, my score is unofficial, but I am going to give that round to Green. He surprised me. I could almost call it a draw. They both would get 10 points if it was a draw. But I think I'm going to give that first round to Green, and we're going to give Vazquez 9 points. So Green's going to get 10 points for that opening round. And my unofficial scorecard, I'm going to give Vazquez 9. Could have made it a draw, too. They could have both got 10, but we'll see what happens, okay? Well, Vazquez probably heard me and said, Sal, you're going to eat those words because I'm going to go out there and show you what I really could do, or what I could really do. And right now he looks like he's all business. Oh, he just caught Green with a good right hand. Green blocked most of it, but Vazquez is definitely out here to establish some dominance. He wants to show he's going to be aggressive. He wants to try and land those harder shots. It looks like his feet are under him to deliver those heavier shots with this stance. But Green is a gamer. He's on his toes. He's moving. He's got the good long jab, and he's has not been shaken by the onslaught or by the punches thrown by Velazquez. So that's a good sign right there. Velazquez is coming on. I'll tell you what, Velazquez is landing some good shots. But Green is on his toes, moving. Velazquez is chasing him now. Vazquez is not cutting the ring off on him. He's actually just following him around the ring, which is not preferred, but tries to throw an uppercut on a break. And Green says, you missed me with that, but I'm going to move in a little bit and see if you can catch me. And that's what he's content with doing right now. He throws that long jab out there, and Vazquez answers with a short, crisp jab himself. Both fighters exchange. Velazquez just delivered a great overhand right that caught Green right over his jab. He did a nice right-hand counter. Velazquez definitely taking this round serious to the next level. He just caught Green with a real good overhand right. Now he's working a body. Now he's getting to Green. I'll tell you what, Velazquez is definitely looking to make this fight a short one. He's landing some good telling blows, good hard blows. And I like the way he's executing punches too. His feet are underneath him, and he's getting his weight and momentum and leverage into these punches. Right there, his feet are a little bit off balance, but he still is definitely throwing busier punches, and good sign right there going to the body. He's going to the body of Green, and Green is content. He's moving away, keeping the hands up, keeping that long jab out there. Velazquez says, I'm going to do my best to negate that distance between us, and I'm going to come and chop you down. Both fighters look to keep that left out there, and Velazquez tries to throw a combination. Threw 3 punches, maybe one caught Green. There's a warning, 10 seconds. Oh, good chopping right hand over the left hand of Green. So Velazquez closes that second round with a good overhand right. Like I said, it came down looping like a chop right over the left hand of Green. And I'll tell you, that had to shake him and said, hey, you want to finish with round 2, but wait till you see round 3. So I'm going to give that round definitely to Velazquez. And what that'll mean, ladies and gentlemen, is it is in my unofficial scorecard, the fight at 19 points each. And I'll tell you, both fighters have shown that they want to win this fight. Both fighters have shown that they are here, and they each have their assets. I see Green definitely being a taller, longer-armed fighter. He's using his toes and he's using that jab to try and keep the distance between him and Velazquez. And Velazquez is trying to cut that ring off and trying to work his way in there and use his leverage and his footwork to plant his feet, sit on his punches, as we say in the fight game, and land some heavy blows. And here is round 3. Let's see what happens. Off to a quick start again. Green on his toes, moving around with that jab, and Velazquez just following him and chasing him a little bit with throwing some heavier punches. Feet are wide apart, and he's going to have to close that a little bit. And he's waving his punches. And Green is content. He's just moving on his toes and throwing that jab out there. And you know what? He's doing a good job. Just got caught with a glancing overhand right. Just missed. That would have been a real good heavy shot. But though, took an overhand right there, slipped the left hook from Velazquez, and definitely see some decent defensive skills from Green. There's a good right hand. He just got caught. We heard that punch. That was a good thud behind that right hand on Green. Just came short with a left hook, but he definitely had some good intent to end the fight with that one left hook that he just missed. All right, Green is moving again. His hands are up, throwing the jab. And Velazquez is just sizing the opponent up and throwing the jab himself, getting the distance between them and closing that distance and trying to land some heavy shots. The heavier shots thrown by Velazquez definitely making Green think about things. Green's tying Vazquez up right now. Vazquez says, hey, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm going to throw some punches on this break, and that's what he just did. Missed a big overhand right. Each fighter I can see is focused, and the intent there is really, really intense. Okay, we see Vazquez going to the body. Good sign right there. Green moves away, comes overhand right with a right lead, and lands on Vazquez, right over his left hand. Vazquez got Green with his back to the ropes again, lets him off. Moving around the ring. Green's catching him with some jabs. Green just caught him with a good overhand right. 1-2 punch, we would call it. Wasn't that powerful, but it does score. I'll tell you what, both fighters, they look like they're tiring a little bit this round. They've thrown some heavy punches. But I'll tell you, I think on this round, we're looking at Malcolm Green taking the heavier shots. He's hurt. He's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, he is hurt. He's down. Oh boy! I'll tell you what, Malcolm Green just went down from an overhand right. He went down face first, and the referee said, "That's all I want to see. Fight's over. No standing 8 count, nothing. It's done." The referee, I think, made a good decision. He got caught with some good heavy shots, and that is a victory for Anthony Velazquez, showing his punching power and ending this fight in the 3rd round. And I'll tell you what, the beginning and the end was happening with an overhand right to the temple of Green, and I'll tell you what, behind that, it just throws your equilibrium off, and there were punches that followed behind that, so that was it. Green stands up off the stool, shows he's okay, and each corner is congratulating the other corner, and it's always good to see good sportsmanship between two fighters. I think it was a good, fair call by the referee. Normally, you could see a referee wanting to wait before he stops a fight, but with the way he was hit and the way he went down face first, that's always a good sign that he's had enough. The night's going to be over. Well, that was a good fight. Good fight. Stopped in the 3rd round by the referee. We're just waiting for the initial announcement, final announcement here, declaring Anthony Velazquez the winner. And Anthony Velazquez will improve his undefeated record to 3 wins and 0 defeats. And that will be another knockout to his credit. He's got 100% with knockouts, 3 wins and 3. This would be a TKO, technical knockout, but I'll tell you what, this is definitely a good fight for him, and he's got a good young budding career ahead of him. 3 wins and 3 knockouts. These are the fighters that we look for, ladies and gentlemen. These are the fighters of tomorrow that come up and you test them, you put them in front of other opponents that have had experience, and they keep trying to do their best, and each fighter comes in this ring with one purpose in mind, to win. And when you see one fighter that's undefeated, such as Velazquez, Anthony Velazquez, you know, he's trying to move up and step up with each progressing fight to show his proficiency in the ring. And, you know, here's a young fighter with 3 fights under his belt, 3 KOs, and maybe one day, a year and a half from now, we'll see him fight for the World Championship. We never know. That's the goal, though. And for the other opponent, Malcolm Green, it's not over. He goes back to the gym, he works on things, and he sees where he could be improving, and then we'll take it from there. But he fought a good fight. Good fight. Very good fight. Yeah. Yeah, I like him. 3-0, 3 KOs. I think he's 3-0, 3 KOs. I like that. Christy Martin just coming by and saying that she liked the fight, and I did too. So I think we definitely see Anthony Velazquez. We're going to see some good things from him. And as I said, Malcolm Green, he's a good fighter. He's got to work on some of his skill set, and maybe use a little bit more opportunity to keep his feet while he's moving side to side underneath him and with his hands up. And maybe I like to see fighters when they learn the art of feinting and faking a punch and trying to maneuver and do that. And I think that would suit him too, or suit him very well. So we'll see. There is Amy Hayes making the official, declaring the official winner as Anthony Velazquez. Fight stopped by the referee in the 3rd round. They're taking the gloves off of Malcolm Green right now. It's good to see him up on his toes and he's walking around. And there's one of my favorite trainers in the whole world, ladies and gentlemen, Don Turner, coming down the steps of the ring. And here he is, Mr. Don Turner. Don, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm a middleweight. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a light heavyweight. You got to get me back in the gym. We'll go make a comeback. Don, great seeing you, man. That was a little visit paid by Don Turner coming over. Glad to see him. He looks great. Yeah, last time he saw me, ladies and gentlemen, I was a lightweight. I gained about 30 pounds as he was trying to be nice and telling me that. Oh. So here we are. We have Amy Hayes in the ring. She's going to make the announcement on the next fight coming to see us here. Both fighters are leaving their dressing rooms and will be marching to the ring very shortly. Once Amy has them in view, she'll make her announcement. I'll tell you, I am still smiling. I'm still smiling seeing Don Turner after all these years. It's over 30 years I haven't seen this gentleman who I rear as probably one of the world's greatest trainers. Certainly one of the world's greatest trainers that I've had the opportunity to work with. He's had a lot of world champions he's worked with. And one of the most stellar champions is definitely Vander Holyfield. Definitely a festive night here. I'll tell you, we have a sold-out crowd again. I don't see an empty seat here at Fight Night by Christy Martin Promotions. I'll tell you, she has every fight I've done with Christy, and this is the 3rd or 4th, and I'll tell you, every one of these shows have been a sellout. There's not an empty seat in the house. You got several hundred people here, and these are all good, solid fight fans. All right, let's hear what Amy Hayes has to say.
Let's bring up 6-time world champion, Zab Judah.
All right, she just calls in 6-time world champion Zab Judah, who is here with us right now. He was a crafty fighter. I used to see him fight all the time. He's celebrating his birthday here with us. There he is in the ring. All cameras are on Zab Judah right now, and Amy.
Super Judah Promotions. Super Junior Promotions. We out there. We've been around for a while. We just happy to be here tonight with Christy and the whole crew, Lisa and everybody. We having a good time. We want to say, we love North Carolina. I ain't gonna lie. Let's go, Sean.
All right.
Let's go, Sean. I will be back.
Those are some words given to us by multi-world division champion Zab Judah. And we're singing a happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Zab Judah. I'm used to singing a happy birthday in my restaurant. It sounds like it puts on. My first attempt singing it here at the boxing arena. Well, here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just listening to Zab Judah.
People out there right now on the back of their bands that have Zab on them. Look behind your band right now, on your wrist, right? On your wrist. Look at your wristband. TC, little gloves. Look on the back of your wristbands. They go on, you should say Zab. It should be two people. TZ, remember the gloves? She said, I'm not coming. So these guys right now, they had Zab on their wristbands. So they win each boxing glove besides Zab Judah glove.
There's a correction on that Volkswagen. It's a silver Volkswagen. It needs to be moved across the street. It's a silver Volkswagen.
Thank you, Zab. Happy birthday to you. Ladies and gentlemen. And we also want to say happy birthday to Miss Christy Martin's mother, Joyce Salters. Her birthday is today. Everybody on the count of three, happy birthday, Joyce. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Joyce. She's in concession, by the way, if you want to leave her a $500 bill. Big old stack. Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission.
Right there from Amy Hayes. We're going to take a 10-minute intermission. Doesn't mean we're going to.
And ready and making his way to the ring, let's bring up the blue corner, Kelvin King.
3 victories. He's had 3 KOs. He's fought a total of 9 rounds, and we have 9 rounds under his belt, and we have Derrick Hyatt, who's had significantly a few more rounds. He's got 21 rounds under his belt. So you would think the experience in the ring would be in Derrick Hyatt's favor, but I've seen Kelvin King fight before. He comes out and he just wants to show what he's all made of, and he's going to throw some heavy bombs early on, and I'll tell you what, he opens up with a right hand, and I'll tell you, Derrick Hyatt, like an experienced fighter, just keeps his hands up, keeps that jab out there. Oh, he just got caught with a left hook. I'll tell you what, he just got caught with a heavy, big punch from Kelvin King. That's it. I'll tell you what, Kelvin King just said, I'm putting you to sleep fast. Okay, Derrick Hyatt does get up. He's wobbling on his feet. Referee's going to give him a standing 8 count. Referee doesn't like what he sees, and that is it. That is a quick night of work for Kelvin King. Catching his opponent with a massive right hand and good left hook and putting him down and out. He is still walking uneasily on his feet. That hurts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure he's not feeling too good about that, but I know one man that is feeling good about that. That's Kelvin King. Keeps an undefeated record, and he just scored his 4th victory with his 4th KO. He does have 1 draw, but I'll tell you what, he is considered undefeated with 5 professional bouts. And we just saw one of the reasons why he only has maybe 9 rounds underneath his belt, because he likes to end these fights quick, and he ended that fight rather fast. I saw no. I'll tell you what, this guy was really coming in here with the intent. He wanted to end this fight real fast, and he threw a real good right hand, and he threw a couple left hooks, and I'll tell you, fight was over. Night was over. Early night for Derrick Hyatt. All right, Derrick has as good as a smile as you could pull off after suffering by a knockout in the first round. They're talking, both fighters in the middle of the ring. They're shaking hands and hugging each other and just showing their mutual respect. Derrick Hyatt will probably take a good rest and think about things and see what he can do to improve his skill set. And I think it's just going to be the next opponent they're going to line up for Kelvin King, so he can steadily increase his skill level and his opposition. One thing's for sure, when a fighter has a pop and a punch like Kelvin King, that's going to say a lot on his progress moving forward. And a lot of opponents are going to be looking for those heavy punches and look at how they can counter them. So we'll see how he progresses along. I'm going to look forward to attending his next fight, seeing what he can do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is another fight in the books. And we have had, so far, we've had 4 professional fights in front of us. We had that amateur exhibition before the fight card, but we have, I believe we have 2 fights remaining. We'll wait and we'll hear from Amy Hayes, who's going to be the next fight that they're going to announce. I know we have Jose Barrera, and Stephon McIntyre, who we're going to look forward to seeing in the ring real fast. No? And we also have Steve Massey. All right, Kelvin King is making a exit out of the ring, and he's got a lot of fans here. And you know, with that kind of punching power, we definitely see a lot of reason why he's got a lot of fans. People love to see those knockouts. Ringside doctors looking at both fighters to make sure they're both in good shape. Takes a flashlight up to the eyes just to make sure the pupils are dilating properly. If you suffer a concussion, usually your pupils will not dilate normally as they would when you see bright lights. Just giving you guys a little inside information on the fight, about the fight game. Well, these are the young talents coming up tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows who's going to be the next Triple G, who's going to be the next Canelo Alvarez, or a Deontay Wilder. But this is a lot of the proving grounds of how all those fighters did originally start and come up. And they got to make their way through the gauntlet, rise to the top, and improve with each fight they take on. It's experience that you can spend a career getting experience from having fights. And I'll tell you, you never stop learning, you never stop applying in what you learn, and it's on the defensive and offensive sides of both fighting. All right, they're just getting everything under control and cleared up. We're still seeing Kelvin take some pictures for his fans and with fans outside the ring. And all attention's on him, so he deserves it. Worked hard to get where he is, and that's all these fighters do. They put a lot of good time in the gym. Fighters, by nature, should always stay in good shape. You never know when that opportunity is going to come and that phone rings and you're going to have just a few short weeks to hone in and get sharp. So you should stay in shape pretty much all year round, and then when you get that fight, you know, usually it's a 4 to 6 week period where you can really look to know your body and peak so you're in optimum shape and optimum condition, mentally and physically, before the big fight. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on LDLTV, where we are bringing to you another successful fight card brought to you by Christy Martin Productions, the Fight Night Special here in Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. And we are being definitely fortunate enough to be ringside with some great celebrities here, and LDLTV at its best programming you, and I'm programming this event for us, and it's another fight night held by Christy Martin Productions, and I'll tell you, we're very satisfied with some of the fights we've seen so far. We want to thank our sponsors again, LDLTV, and Famous Toastery, Famous Toasteries also. And here we come to the final and last fight. We're going to have Amy Hayes make the ring announcement in the last fight. Who the two opponents are, and this is going to be the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the main event of Christy Promotion. This is Saturday, October 20th. And tonight, we separate the men from the boys. Our combatants will now enter the ring for 6 rounds in the lightweight division. Presenting first, the red corner. Please bring in Stephon McIntyre.
All right, Stephon McIntyre. He's coming into the ring. All right, here we come. We're waiting, all eyes on Stephon McIntyre as he makes his walk into the ring. Here he comes. Looks like he's ready. Take your minutes of preparation, your stretching, your exercise, your warming up in your dressing room. And Stephon McIntyre looks like he's ready to fight.
And before we get to our final pugilist of the main event, may I present to you the man calling the shots, the third man in the ring, Donnie Jessup, who is a veteran of the UFC, professional boxing, on pay-per-view, and networks like Fox Sports Net. Mr. Donnie Jessup.
Mr. Donnie Jessup, third man in the ring.
Are you ready for the answer?
Here we go. We're all waiting for Amy Hayes to make this announcement.
Ready for the answer?
We are.
All right, bring it on. From the blue corner, here is Steve Massey.
All right, Steve Massey. I've seen Steve Massey fight before. He's a good fighter, and he's got a record of 7 wins, 1 loss, and out of his 7 wins, he's had 7 knockouts. So he's definitely on a good path. We're having a little march here into the ring, and here comes Steve Massey. They're opening up the ropes, and here he comes climbing the stairs, and he is going to walk through the ring right now. Welcome Steve Massey into the ring. His opponent, Stephon McIntyre, is waiting, and
New Jersey. Please welcome Stephon McIntyre.
out quick with that jab, and so does McIntyre. Good early head movement from McIntyre, but didn't stop Massey from hitting him with a quick combination. Just got him in the body and the head. I'll tell you what, right now, and we're looking at McIntyre. He's content with staying in that little peekaboo shell and letting Massey punch him. Maybe thinks he's gonna catch him off balance, or well, he did. He just tried to shoot a right hand out of the blue and just missed his opponent Massey. He's inside. They're tying each other up. They're trying to score and hit each other with some shots on the inside. Massey looks like he's definitely has some authority behind those punches. And just when he lands a good combination, I'll tell you what, McIntyre comes right back. Both throwing jabs. Good action early on in this first round. Massey throwing that jab to McIntyre. And McIntyre just keeping those hands up, moving his head. Good combination by Massey. Body and the head. McIntyre just covering up. I think McIntyre's strategy is he's waiting. He's going to cover up until he sees the opening when Massey does throw that punch, and he's going to come over and try and counter. Don't know if it's the best strategy, but right now it looks like that's what he's doing. Keeping those hands up, elbows in. But Massey can strike him and hit him with a combination. And he's just waiting to throw with one punch at a time. Massey's scoring some good shots. There's a jab from McIntyre. Massey ties him up. Trying to fight on the inside. Referee breaks him apart. Here they go. Good left hook by McIntyre onto Massey. Caught him. Tried to follow up with a right hand lead, but didn't work. Good first round. Both fighters definitely look like they want to try and establish their dominance, but right now it looks like Massey is the one doing that by throwing these combinations. But I'll tell you what, just when he does that, McIntyre comes back with a good shot of his own. All right, the bell rings. That's the end of the first round. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it was an even round to a degree, but I am going to give my unofficial score. I'm going to give that round to Stephen Massey. I'll give him 10 points, and I'm going to give McIntyre 9. It's a 6-round fight, so we'll see what happens. He's got a long way to go. Yes. Very good, very good. Tell you what, these fighters, yeah, I see him. He's got a loss in his, a couple losses in his column, but I'll tell you what, we're definitely looking at these fighters here, and I'll tell you, this McIntyre, he's had some experience. He's had quite a few bit of losses here, but he's fighting a lot better than what a gentleman of his stature, with all those losses, you would expect. Here comes Stephen Massey. They meet in the center of the ring. And we see McIntyre throw out a jab. Massey trying to throw his jab. A right hand right behind the jab, as you're schooled to do. McIntyre has his hands up. Elbows in. Very good defense right there. His gloves are taking some of those shots and some of the sting out of them from Massey. But you just can't stand in that little shell all night. Like I said, I think he's going to try and take some shots and come over and out with his own little shot. And he just did. He just did. He just threw some shots, and he threw a nice little combination. And one or two of those shots got into Massey. Massey's looking like he's definitely got the attention of McIntyre. And McIntyre, to his credit, yeah, I'll tell you what, we were looking at Massey, and I see that hook off the jab, and he just threw a double left hook, and I always like that double left hook because first one you get the attention, but that second one you have you're coming out of a coil and it's a little heavier. And of course, ideally you'll want to follow that with a right hand. Great double left hook, one to the body, one to the head, almost with the leverage of an uppercut, and that's a beautifully planted left hook to the liver. Definitely gets your attention. And those hands start to drop, and that double left hook will mean if you hit him in the stomach or the liver with the one shot and his hand drops, that left hook going to the head on the next one, next shot is going to catch its target. Massey definitely throwing punches with authority here tonight. And we're looking at McIntyre. He's a gamer. He's in there. He's in the fight. He doesn't look hurt. There's a good right shot, right hand to the body from Massey. Scored on McIntyre. McIntyre comes back with the right of his hand. Oh! Massey caught him with a good right hand. McIntyre says he's okay. Sometimes when a fighter says he's okay, it means he might not be. But I'll tell you what, McIntyre looks like he's still having fun in there, and he just caught Massey with a left hook. He's moving, looks alert, trying to give different angles to look at. And Massey's definitely teeing off on the combinations while McIntyre keeps his elbows in, his hands up, and his arms are taking most of the punishment, but still, those are punches that are going to be scored in favor of Massey because they are landing. All right, so we are here, and we just finished the second round, and I'm going to give that round to Stephen Massey as well. So I have my unofficial score right now, ladies and gentlemen. I have Stephen Massey 20 points, and I have Stephon McIntyre 18. Ring card girls up in the ring, letting us know that round 3 is about to start. Both fighters on a stool getting instructions from their management, from their corner. Stools are being brought out of the ring now. The referee is telling each fighter, we're going to start round number 3. Here we go. Massey comes out again with that strong jab, throws a right hand behind it. McIntyre moving his head, showing him different signs at different angles. You can show them all you want, but if you're not going to throw punches, you're not going to win. So right now, McIntyre, like I said, he might have his strategy, and it's not confusing Massey at this point. But he's throwing a haymaker out of that peekaboo style. And if Massey does get caught with it, it'll get his attention. But so far, Massey's definitely being more dominant and landing some good shots. This is round number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Both fighters are looking in each other's eyes and they're circling. Not too many punches thrown thus far. A few jabs here and there. There's a light combination from Massey. McIntyre follows him around the ring, moving his head, keeping those hands up, letting Massey tee off and throw those combinations. He's taking some shots to the body. His elbows can only block so much, but he's getting some shots. Just got hit in his solar plexus with a good right hand. Massey's punching through those gloves too. Like I said, he could be defensively sound, McIntyre, but if he doesn't throw punches, you're not going to win a fight just by taking shots or blocking them. Good uppercut and hook, and I'll tell you what, McIntyre just came back with a surprising left hook. Another left hook from McIntyre. Looked like a pretty good crisp shot, too. Massey's shaking his head. Didn't hurt him, but tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, when you say it didn't hurt you, definitely I think it gets your attention anyway. So Massey might think twice, but we'll see what happens. Both fighters in center of the ring. Massey still looks dominant and strong with that jab. McIntyre, here he goes. Peekaboo again. His hands are up, his elbows are in, and he's saying, come on, throw those punches, hit me. And that's exactly what Massey's answering, doing. Trying to get through that defense with the hands up, elbows in. Massey giving him some things to think about, and McIntyre giving Massey some looks with his body and head movement. McIntyre just missed with a big left hook. They wanted to try and catch him, missed. And ladies and gentlemen, again, my unofficial scoring, I am going to give that round number 3 to Stephen Massey. So I have the fight right now, 30 points to Stephen Massey, 27 points to Stephon McIntyre. And here ring card girls letting us know that we are going to go into round 4. We're going to start round 4 out of 6 rounds for this last, final, and main event of the evening. Fighter getting their last minute instructions from their corner. Stools are going to be brought out of the ring. There they are. Everybody, seconds are out of the ring. And the referee's going to start with the bell. And there is the bell for the 4th round. 4 out of 6 rounds. I'm sure the way these punches are being thrown by Stephen Massey, this fight's already past where he wanted to be, as far as not ending this fight in the first, second round. But he's still throwing some good shots, and I'll tell you, it's just going to be a matter of time that McIntyre, his arms are going to come down after they keep taking that punishment on the elbows and on the biceps from Massey. But he keeps tying himself up, and Massey's just obliging him with those heavy punches. He comes back with an answer with 1 or 2 punches, but nothing solid that was landed onto Massey from McIntyre. You can see that Massey definitely has some strategy here. He's looking to land those shots. But with that being said, McIntyre is no easy out here. McIntyre is looking to make those counter shots, and when he throws a counter, ladies and gentlemen, he's hitting and he's landing every so often with some good heavy hands. So, like I said, right now it's definitely the fight is going into Massey's favor, but McIntyre is not out yet. And you never know. It just takes one punch to turn a fight around. He's losing these rounds, and like I said, we're in the 4th or 6th round. So, if McIntyre is going to do anything, he's got to start putting his fists together and land some good shots and try to knock out Massey if he wants to win. Good defense, good there. I'll tell you what, McIntyre is a sound fighter. He's definitely a good, strong opponent. And he's not a pushover. He knows how to cover up because Massey is just teeing off on him. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Massey's winning these rounds. He's the busier fighter. He's landing these shots. But the defense skills of McIntyre, they're not landing with the full force on his chin. And McIntyre's just looking to unleash and land a big shot of his own. And like I said, he's running out of time. Oh, he just caught Massey with a heck of a right hand. And Massey came right back with his own right hand. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you, Massey was blinking after that shot. Great shot. I'll tell you what, that just definitely got Massey's attention. McIntyre uncorked with a right hand that hit Massey, and that hurt Massey. I'll tell you what, that was a big right hand, and that was a surprise. Like I said all along, he's fighting this peekaboo style. He's letting Massey open up and throw those punches, and he's just waiting for that opportunity to throw that one big heavy punch. And guess what? He did that round, and it caught the attention, and I think it hurt Massey for an instant. But Massey had 3/4 of that round that he threw, and he landed punches. So again, I'm going to give that round number 4 to Massey. And with that being said, I've got Massey with a score of 40 to 36. And I think it's going to be fair to say on my official scorecard that Stephon McIntyre is going to need a knockout victory if he's going to beat Stephen Massey this evening. I have Massey ahead. Again, my scorecard is unofficial, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll see what happens. We got 2 rounds remaining. We saw 4, we got 6. Let's see what happens. Both fighters still look fresh. They're both in decent shape. And it's the same round. You see Massey landing some heavy shots with McIntyre keeping those hands up, knowing how to block some shots, and he's just going to wait to uncork and hit Massey and hopefully catch him again in his mind of what he's going to do to hurt and turn his fight around. But he is running at a great right hand. You could probably have heard that one. You heard that one, ladies and gentlemen. That was a right hand right to the body from Stephen Massey. Now Massey's going up to the head. We have McIntyre. He's still satisfied with that peekaboo position, and he's going to just look for that opportunity to uncork and throw a heavy hand out from his peekaboo. Massey trying to throw a feint in there and see what he could do to... Oh, there he goes with the body again, right up to the head. So Massey looks like he knows what he's doing with those combinations. McIntyre content with just keeping those hands up, elbows in, taking the shots, wait for his opportunity. Here he goes. He throws a left hook. He throws a right hand to Massey. Throws a right hand in the body that did hit more of a slap than an authoritative punch into Massey. Massey throwing some heavy punches. They don't seem to be bothering McIntyre right now. And like I said, I don't know McIntyre's strategy other than hoping Massey punches himself out or just hoping that one of those shots are going to open up Massey's body for some big haymaker that he's going to land. Both fighters give each other a little smile. Heavy combination given by Stephen Massey to Stephon McIntyre. And Stephon McIntyre, he took all those shots on the gloves, but still, they do get through. Good shot to the body, blocked by the elbows. Scoring position, good overhand right. McIntyre tries to come back with his own overhand right. Nice quick left hook. Both fighters are pretty quick. Yeah, I think Massey, oddly enough, I think he just slowed down his pace. He could have gotten caught with one of those haymakers, and he's thinking twice. And I'll tell you what, I see from McIntyre, he's got some quick hands. He's just not throwing enough punches. He's not going to win this fight. Massey is having his way with him. And it's going to take that haymaker that he's waiting to throw and open up on Massey to win this fight, in my opinion. Massey keeps piling up these points in rounds. And again, ladies and gentlemen, good round. Each fighter had their moment, but I'm going to give the majority of those moments to Stephen Massey. So through 5 rounds, I have Stephen Massey winning each of those rounds, and he's got a score of 50. And we're going to give Stephon McIntyre 45 points. For 9 points for each of the 5 rounds. And ladies and gentlemen, we have been treated to a main event that is going to go into the 6th and final round. tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this fight is not as one-sided as my score, my unofficial score, may reflect. Each fighter has had their moments, and this is the sixth and final round. Each fighter, there we go, sixth and final round. Okay, now McIntyre comes out and he wants to throw his hands and let him fly. Should have been thinking about that early on. McIntyre is back in his peekaboo, and we've got Massey throwing some heavy shots. Double left hook by Massey into McIntyre. McIntyre coming up, uncorking with a left hook that just missed. Followed with a right hand that kind of glanced off of Massey. Oh, good right hand, overhand right hand. Quick right hand by McIntyre over and got through to Massey. Didn't hurt him, but it got his attention. So McIntyre is in this fight, but he's got to end it. He's got to end it by a knockout. That's the only way he's going to win in my unofficial scorecard. And Massey looks too strong and too dominant to be taken by one shot right now. Could happen, but that's why the fight game's so unpredictable. It just takes one punch to turn it around, ladies and gentlemen. So this fight is not over. And McIntyre is not counted out yet, so he could turn it around one shot. But the likelihood of that happening is dissipating with each second of the clock as it winds down. Oh, Massey just threw a good combination, and McIntyre just comes back with his own combination. Massey bringing the fight to McIntyre. McIntyre taking some good shots on the arms again. The target was intended for the body, but the elbows and the arms catch those punches. And their points scoring up. Great 4-punch combination by Massey again. Hitting the elbows, hitting the gloves, one got through. But unless McIntyre opens up and throws a haymaker, that's what we see is what we've gotten. Massey's just doing a little target practice right now. And McIntyre taking those shots on the gloves, but still they are adding up his points because he's being inactive with throwing enough punches here. Definitely the busier fighter has been Massey. He's throwing more punches. Great jab that he snuck in and got in on McIntyre. McIntyre came back with his own little left hook. Glanced off of the head of Massey. Massey throwing a feint. McIntyre comes in with a right lead. Didn't land flush. We got 10 seconds left, and I'll tell you what, Massey's going to be on his way to another victory. Unless there's, oh! All right. Good finish. Good finish. McIntyre wanted to show a little bit too little too late, but I'll tell you what. Well, that's the end of the 6th round and final round, ladies and gentlemen. That was a good little fight. John, are you with us? Did you see that fight? Did you hear that?
Sal, let me tell you something. So I was speaking incorrectly
earlier. We're going to try
earlier.
to get John Mosayunas back on with us.
I thought, I was speaking incorrectly in the intermission. I thought the other guy was 10 and 49.
John, yeah, you're coming off. You're very faint right now, buddy. I can't hear you at the speaker.
Yeah, I'm on.
Now you're on. Okay, good. Here,
yeah,
John.
Man.
So
let me tell you my thoughts on this.
Let me hear your thoughts, okay, John. I want to hear your thoughts.
So here's a couple things about McIntyre. Okay, McIntyre has, first of all, that is definitely the best 3 and 45 guy ever. So he's better than the 10 and 49 guy. This guy, he's losing fights because he's not throwing enough punches.
No, he's definitely not.
But Sal, if you didn't know this guy's record, you'd think at worst he was 15 and 5 or 15 and 7, and he just didn't have good punch output. But this guy can fight, man, and he's got a short kind of upper body, so he keeps his elbows in, and you can't hit him with a liver shot. He keeps his hands up. He tries to counter when he gets a shot, and he might not have that much power, but he's got a ton of speed for a guy with 45 losses, man.
Well, he does, John, and I'll tell you what, though, if you had
Sal, let me ask you this.
Go ahead, tell me.
Do you think this guy could be trained to win the majority of his fights, or do you think he's just taking fights like this to earn I don't know what he's getting paid, probably $1,000 a round or something like that. But this guy's way better than he's a club fighter, but he's way at the top of club fighters. You know what I mean?
Well, I know what you mean, and I'm glad you asked me the question because, can he be turned around?
Yeah, could this guy be
here's
turned
the
around?
thing. Is it the lack of the proper training that he's been exposed to? I don't know. Is his ambition just to be a good opponent, a solid opponent, and show up for a good paycheck every once in a while?
Hang on 1 second.
54 across the board. All three judges scored this bout the same. Unanimous decision for Steve
Stephen Massey, and 9 points were given to Stephon McIntyre.
Good fight, though, Sal.
It was a good fight. And like I said, I think McIntyre.
Hey, gave you your money's worth, man. He hit Stevie Massey a couple of times. And let me tell you something why that's a good. This guy is such a great opponent, man.
Oh, he's a good opponent. You know what? That's the kind of fighter. If you're bringing a young prospect up, John,
yes, exactly.
That's the kind of fighter you want your prospect in with because this guy's dangerous.
He's
not a walkover, and if it goes the distance, it's going to be a good conditioning fight and a good learning lesson.
Yeah, and the kid McIntyre's in great shape, so he's not giving up after 2 rounds. He gave him 6 solid rounds. Hey, listen, and that's a good thing from Stevie Massey knocking everybody out.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson for him to have to work his ass off and be afraid and get hit. You know what I mean? I think that was my opinion. That was a good match. Excellent matchmaking there.
It was a good match, and it was good opportunity for Massey to hone in and polish his skills. And like I said, I'd be curious if McIntyre wanted to become really serious about the game.
Sal, I'm telling you, man. But he must not want to be because he's now 43 and 46. He's had almost 50 fights, and he's still got speed. He's still got stamina. Maybe it's just too you can't teach an old dog new tricks or something. But if he had a little more punch output, dude, he'd have been a lot closer in this fight.
Well, and that's it, and if he had the punch output, or if he definitely changed up his style a little bit. Like I said, fighting from that peekaboo position when your hands are up, your elbows are in.
It's hard.
You could take a lot of punishment, and,
right.
and the punches may not get through to hurt you, but you're going to lose on points. And if you're not going to throw any punches, I've never heard of a fighter just winning on taking punches. So he's got to do something to turn around and maybe throw more punches and not just look to end the fight with one shot. Coming out of a peekaboo, as I've been redundant saying that over and over, but that's what we saw tonight. And he's not going to end the fight. He doesn't have the power to end the fight with one solid shot. He can turn the fight around, but he's got to be throwing punches and become busier in the ring.
Well, a great night of boxing again, Sal.
It was, and we saw another great night of fights from Christy Martin Promotions, and brought to you by LDLTV, may I say.
And Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria. You want the best pizza? I'm not even going to say South Georgia. I'm going to say south of the border, wherever that border is. Get to Sal's Pizzeria. Exit 29 if you're coming from the south, and exit 30, what is it? From
38 if you're coming from the north on 95.
Just follow the signs. They all lead to Sal's.
Oh,
and listen, let me tell you something. If you don't know how to get there and your phone won't lead you there, get off and ask somebody, because everybody on that damn island in Brunswick, Georgia, St. Simons, they know who Sal is. They'll point you in the right direction.
Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, John. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I'll tell you what, we have had another nice night of fights. And Christy Martin, I'll tell you what, she's got another one in the books as a win. I'll tell you, she keeps putting on these shows, and they are a sellout, John.
Listen, man, she's got February 23rd and then March 16th in Jacksonville, Florida, and then she's coming back to Jacksonville, North Carolina in April. But 3 in a row. But I'm looking forward to this Jacksonville. This is going to be a different kind of scene. It's at the Morocco Shrine Theater in Jacksonville. It's a little bigger venue than this, so we got to put up a few more people. But
I know that Morocco Shrine. I know that. I know it's right off of St. John's Road or something like that.
Yeah, but listen, I'm excited, and we want to do a long-term deal, LDLTV, because we're down there. Sal's down there. The pizza is down there. I mean, are we going to be able to get pizza delivered to the show?
I might have to bring some pies on my way.
I'm telling you, man. That's awesome. But, Sal, I'm going to run through the sponsors. But, hey, man, it was awesome doing this broadcast. I'm sorry to the people. We had a few camera issues out there, but we came in 4 hours and put up a television station in 4 hours. So the few problems we had could be expected. But our men out there, Kenny and Chuck and Marino on the instant replay, which did not work tonight. But anyways, Marino, Kenny, Chuck, the whole crew here, and Sal
yourself.
Rocky Senecola, man.
And John Mosayunas, president. And I'll tell you what, John, I'm just very glad and very happy to be a part of this whole production. And thank you so much for the opportunity by you and Christy Martin.
All right, man.
I love it.
Awesome
and,
night, brother.
Great night of fights.
All right.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, closing another great night of fights at the arena in Charlotte, North Carolina. Almost forgot where I was. Charlotte, North Carolina. Where John, I fought in Charlotte here years ago. And we're
it's a
glad.
boxing town, man.
Great boxing town.
Yes,
and I'll
it is.
tell you what, every time we're here, I see a lot of good, loyal fight fans, and they're the same faces. These
Same
guys
faces.
love fights. And Charlotte, North Carolina has always proved to be a good proving ground for developing fighters and having the fight fans come and watch you and root for you.
Yes, sir. We'll see you on March 16th, brother.
All right, my friend. We will see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us for another great night of boxing brought to you by Christy Martin Productions and LDLTV. I'm Sal Rocky Senecola. Very happy to have been able to bring you this broadcast, and thank you so much for paying attention to us and being a part of our show. So, till next time, I want to say thank you and have a good night. God bless.
Tonight's Christy Martin Promotions event is brought to you in part by Famous Toastery. Breakfast, lunch, and brunch all at once. Come visit one of their 40 locations and find them on the internet at famoustoastery.com. Punch in your zip code, find your nearest location. Title Boxing, with world-famous boxing equipment, major brands at affordable prices. Shop them 24/7 by going to titleboxing.com. Payne Boxing. For professional boxing management, contact them today at payneBoxing.com. Also, find them on Facebook. ECT Transportation for day trips, airport drop-offs, proms, and graduations in Charlotte, North Carolina. Call them now at 704-293-4150 or find them on Facebook. Hustle Hands, a trend-setting online clothing store with first-rate products and exceptional customer service. Find them on the web at hustlehands.com. Homewood Suites by Hilton. Experience apartment-style living with the benefits of being a hotel guest. Go to Hilton.com and book a stay today. Ultimate Gym, the best boxing and martial arts gym in Charlotte. Check out their website at ultimategym.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Christy Martin Promotions and LDLTV, the best in boxing, streaming live to you. Check out our upcoming shows streaming live on LDLTV, February 23rd, 2019 in Charlotte, North Carolina, March 16th, 2019 in Jacksonville, Florida, and April 12th, 2019 in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano in St. Simons Island, Georgia is a sponsor of every Christy Martin Promotions event. Eater Atlanta Magazine says Sal's is the best place to eat in South Georgia. Go to salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com and find out how to get to Sal's on St. Simons Island. And by Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today at southerngourmetspice.com.